James. I'm the founder of the Crowd Data Centre, the Crowdfunding Centre, and of this new book, New Routes to Funding. And people have asked me, how do we get started? How do we get into this? Well, it goes back a long way. I'm a tech entrepreneur by background. But let me take you back to 2007, 2008. We'd already spent a lot of time, my team and I, studying the huge changes that were coming down the track, and understanding the real implications of this new technology, the fact that we're all now hyper-connected, we can talk to one another across the world, and we can now associate in new ways, freely associate in new ways, both people and ideas. And we realised that crowdfunding could be an incredibly powerful engine of change. And here, however, this might be something that will come and go. That anyway, it wouldn't fit culturally in the UK. That this was, those crazy Americans, they'll put money into anything, they'd say. We're not like that. It'll never work here. So we decided to try and find out. So we ran a crowdfund. It was actually a crowdfund to run a crowdfunding mini conference, a little meeting. It filled up almost straight away. We crowdfunded the money we needed to cover all the costs for that. And there was a room full of buzzing, excited people at the prospect of this. They were excited, and so were we, by their ventures, by what they could do, both to change their lives and to change the way something worked, their industry worked or whatever. Fundamentally, we saw to change the world. We were excited, though, by crowdfunding itself. And we sat back after that meeting, the small team of people who worked with me to put that on, and said, well, actually in the UK, this is in danger. Our regulator were taking a very dim view. They were treating this as a risk rather than an opportunity. And we said, someone has to do something. And we sat around for a while and we kept on saying, someone has to do something, until we realised that all of the options that we were coming up with wouldn't work. And it had to be us. So that was in the autumn, the fall of 2012. By December we had a plan, and in February, with help from the University of Hertfordshire, we launched the UK's first crowdfunding conference called Crowdfunding Deep Impact. We're now on the 4th. And almost immediately after that, because we went to see the MP for Huddersfield. We call him the MP for crowdfunding sometimes these days. And explain to him what crowdfunding was, how it works, and why it was really important to the future and to entrepreneurs. And he came and spoke at the conference, and together, the following week, we launched what was to become, under his chairmanship and with our leadership, the all-party group, parliamentary group on crowdfunding and non-bank finance. And that's been part of our campaigning. Back then, before the conference, and before even the event I described, I'd written 2 articles. One was saying that at a time when the banks had crashed the economy, we badly needed these new forms of funding, new routes to funding, and that they shouldn't be dismissed. And the second one said that in order for this to happen, we really needed a new approach, a new approach from government and regulator to innovation, and especially financial innovation. And I proposed in an article in that August in 2012 that we should create an innovation unit within the regulator. To be frank, everyone laughed. My friends laughed loudest, or at least I heard their laughter loudest, except that we now have that. A couple of years or so later, after a long and dogged campaign, to be frank, we now have that, and that is now spawned what are called sandboxes to support innovation, and the innovation unit and the sandboxes are now being copied worldwide. This is just the beginning. This is just the beginning of fintech, but it's just the beginning of a new economy. So that's what excited us all along. It's the ability that we have as digital and networks are changing the environment. They're morphing. They're changing our lives and the way that we work, and working with us in what was a non-digital environment. We now have digital and non-digital on and offline together, and we've got a new environment with new rules, and we have the opportunity to reinvent the world and to put people at the centre of the economy, or in other words, a crowd economy. And what excites us and why we do this is we see the opportunity for entrepreneurs serving the crowd, creating things that people really want and need, to become an army, already are an army in fact, of re-engineering the economy, re-engineering the world into a better place, a more people-centered economy. So that's how we got started. More on this soon. I hope you'll come and join us for the crowdfund, and I'm sure if you look down, I'm sure you'll find the link to the crowdfund for the new book, which is New Routes to Funding. Thank you.